Aries, this is going to be a year in review, and essentially I'm going to grab one card for each month coming up for 2020, and that'll give you kind of an overview and a broad view of what might be coming for you in 2020, good and uncomfortable. The growth that's going to happen, as 2020 is going to be our transformation year and a lot of big things going on. I've described some of it down in the description below, so definitely take a peek at that. But for now, Aries, we're just going to get one card per month. So I'm going to pull 12 cards. Hope y'all have had a good ending of the year, and I will be doing the monthlies for January here after I do these yearlies. This is like my little gift to everybody, kind of like a New Year's goal planning. You know, you can kind of look at this stuff and say, hey, you know, if I don't want that, I'm going to change it. So anything laid out here is not going to be for every single Aries out there, but it will give you kind of a cue. Something will pop up in your head, and I suggest checking back throughout the year of 2020 and seeing if anything resonates with you. And if anything does, definitely leave it in the comments. Let me know. I would love to hear about it and see what's going on. Alright, Aries. Nothing's really popping out, so let's do this. Alright. January. February. March. April. We're going to move these a little bit like this. May. June. July. August. September. October. November. And December. All right, Aries, let's take a gander here at what we have. For January, you have new vitality. Okay, now new vitality is going to be number one, right? It's going to be an ace. It's going to be the Ace of Swords. So something in the mind, something is, you know, building within the way that you think, the way that you communicate, the way that you even receive communication, you know, that the way that you get communication from people. So that's obviously a perception right there, right? The way that you receive that information is going to bring that new vitality. And the way that you communicate with people is going to bring some new vitality. So some kind of Ace of Swords is happening here, and it's saying that that's going to be a good start for you. And we do have that eclipse coming in January. It'll be January 10th on the full moon. So it's something to look forward to. You know, those are powerful, powerful full moons whenever we get an eclipse with them. It's like times 10. And I've written some of that down in the description as well. All right, for February, you have Share the Love. What a beautiful card to come forward with, you know, the United States celebrating Valentine's and some other things. So you have this 3, and it's all about passion, okay? You have 3 of Cups. It's all about that passion that you're going to share with people and the excitement and celebrations. Maybe some of you are going to be getting married in February. Some of you are going to get new love. There's going to be all sorts of different things that this could come forward as, because 3 is always something that we make. So maybe you're going to get some new communication in January about something really amazing starting, and you're going to be able to share that love. You know, when we look at the traditional 3 of Cups, it's going to be people dancing around and celebrating something. And it's all going to be that feeling. So a lot of feelings happening that you're able to make in February. All right, let's move on here. We've got March. Now, March, you have Spread Your Wings. Okay? And that's going to be the 2 of Swords. So yeah, you may be, you know, coming up to a path, some kind of fork in the road. But once you decide which way you want to go, you're really going to be able to open up and go forward with excitement and desire, with that new communication. Okay, so this is the 1. Here's the 2 of Swords. And it's really moving forward. The twos are always going to talk to us about what we know. We know what the path is that we want. We know what we want. So choosing the path shouldn't be too hard when you really get down to the core of it. Maybe do a pros and cons list in March if you're feeling, like you don't understand where to go. Because the fork in the road is going to be something that's going to help you spread your wings. A lot of the times the secret message is it doesn't matter which way you go. You're going to be able to spread your wings regardless, okay? It's really up to you what feels the best. And it'll be something with that communication and that mental work, some deeper thinking that's happening in March. Now let's move on to April. We have sadness and isolation. So something might happen, okay, in April, and regardless of how you may be perceiving it, okay, when we have this kind of feeling of isolation, it's kind of like remembering what really brings you forward. All right, so it's another 3. We had a 3 here in February where there's celebration of something you make, but you also have to realize you also may be making this sadness and isolation for yourself. Recognizing what it is in the communication that you're bringing forward. What kind of role are you playing in the sadness and isolation? Is it real? Is it necessary? What kind of things are happening for you, and how can you really bring yourself forward into this higher level of perceiving and feeling and healing, really? Something drastic may happen and it just sets you into this spiral. And you have to, the message of this card is to remember who you are. Remember where your power lies. Remember how you can switch this up. You don't have to feel that way. You can definitely do this. It's what you make. So some of you Aries may be going through something pretty difficult in April. Check back for that April monthly reading that I'll do and see if there's something that'll help you there in those messages. Now we have May, listen. Now this is a major arcana, and this major arcana happens to be the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is always like saying, I already know, you should trust, and just listen. Now what are you listening to? You're listening to your intuition. You're listening to your gut. You're listening to everything that, pushes you forward and gets you up and makes you feel something. And you're trusting that. And so sometime in May, you may be feeling some kind of, isolation or not having what it is that you feel, you want. And look, it's another 2. So you got a 1, 2, you have 1, 3, 2, 3, 2. Okay, so again, it's something that you already know. It's something you're listening to that you know. So that'd be your intuition, your guidance, your spiritual guides, whatever it is that you pray to, you're going to trust. You're going to trust it throughout May. And you could be going through so many different things, especially with this sadness and isolation a month before. It seems like May is when you really get through onto another level of listening to your higher self, really pulling through something that maybe wasn't what you expected. So the advice for May is to definitely listen. Trust your guides. Trust in that. And look at this. Halfway point throughout the year is seek. And this is another major arcana coming up. So big shift happens after this sadness and isolation. We have these 1s and these 3s and these 2s, and these are what would be considered some of the suits, that go into the tarot deck. But when we have these black cards, these are the major arcana. And a lot of times when we get major arcana, these are big shifts, big things happening. So June, you have something happening right after this other large shift, or, they're a culmination. It's either going to be a couple things happening or the same thing happening for you, Aries. But you have 9, seek, and that's the Hermit. And the Hermit's going to come through and seek inward. So it's really significant that this came out with the Hermit, because it's really seeking that inner light, inner guidance. It's going inside and seeking the answers, because the answers are within. All we need to do is stop and listen, all right? Seek that inner guidance. Seek what you already know in June. And that'll really help you get through whatever it is that's going on up here mid-year. Again, check back for your monthly reading that I'll do, and you might get a little bit more advice. Okay, then we come up with 6. So it seems like in July, you're going to get this 6 of Cups, and it's going to feel pretty dang amazing. You know, this is where your memory comes into play. And this is where you're looking into your inner child and you're choosing something. When we get the 6 of Cups, it's kind of like a nostalgia. All right, because 6 always stems off of the Lovers, and it's what you're choosing. It's what you're choosing to feel about. So Cups are always going to be our emotions and our feelings, and it seems like in July, you're going to be really, you know, in a spot of choosing how you want to feel about something. So there's definitely be some healing from whatever happens up here at the beginning of the year, and really moving into a different type of feeling within July. You know, you'll be looking at your inner child, healing, thinking about memories and how they repeat. With 2020 being the year of judgment, sometimes we get a reincarnation, okay, of an experience. Somebody else comes back into our lives, some kind of opportunity comes back, and that could be happening for you in July with this sort of like this nostalgia memory feeling type card being brought forward in July. So really cool there. Check back and see what that's about as well. Now, cool card here. You get this 5 of Swords. Now, this doesn't have to be a bad win or lose, okay? I'm sorry, 5 of Wands. I said Swords because it's in there. But this is actually the 5 of Wands. And the 5 of Wands is usually like a healthy banter. I like to think of that. Yeah, there may be some argument. Yes, there may be some confusion or hostility that goes along with this, you know, as long as it doesn't go to a violence things. It usually doesn't with the 5 of Wands. It's more of like standing your ground for what you believe in, and it bringing you to that next level of understanding and being able to relay how you feel to people. You know, with this ace coming up here in January, you're going to be communicating and thinking in a different way, and you may be challenged, okay? Right after you know, get into this nostalgic feeling and you're feeling really good, there may be people that are threatened, or experiences that you engage in that will change due to the way that you're changing. Okay, and that's typical, right? That's the ripple effect of us changing, is so is our environment and the people we hang with and our families and our environments. Everything changes. So at some point in August, you may be challenged, Aries, and win or lose, you will get your point across. Okay, there is no win or lose in this situation, I feel. It's more of like you're going to be able to express yourself the way that you want to, the way that you've been wanting to, maybe since you've been having some of these changes, some of these things that happen to you, having that memory, and it's going to come forward and help you, you know, really express yourself. This is where you express what you believe in and how you feel about something, as far as like your life's work, your work life. You know, this could be something in work, or you're being challenged, or it could be just something you really care about, something really passionate to you, and you're going to have to really defend what you believe in August. Now, what you need to be mindful of is in September, you have the major arcana of the devil, and this is saying master. So where is it that you're allowing power, or, you know, something to have power over you? A lot of times when we get the devil card, we don't realize it, but it was really good to begin with, whatever this is. It'll be different for every Aries. But something was really good to begin with. And as it went along, it all of a sudden trapped you. And you're feeling like, wow, this is not really what I wanted, but I can't really walk away because of. There's like a lot of excuses that come with the devil card. You know, because it was something that you really defended at one point even. Okay? And now you're like, deep down inside knowing that it's not what you truly want. So once you can really remove the chains, remove the bars, and let go of something that's holding you back, keeping you small, and not really allowing you to express that new part of yourself that's been building throughout the year, in September you are going to be asked how much you like being caged. You know, how much do you like being chained to something? And I believe, truly whenever we get the devil card that we do come through it. We come through it with growth, new knowledge, the experience under our belt right there, and we recognize our heart a little bit deeper. So with the 15 coming out here, 15s are always asking us about what the temptation is. What are we tempted into, and why are we so tempted? And once you can release yourself from that, it looks like you're going to move into something else in October. October, you're going to be strengthening bonds. Now, this is the one of coin. And when we get the one of coin, this is amazing because it's like getting a brand new seed. A brand new seed to grow something that is really important. It's going to be lifelong. It's going to be legacy. Yes, it's going to take time. Yes, it may, be slow moving because it's heavy. A coin energy is always heavy. It takes time. So with this coming out here in October for you, you're going to strengthen some kind of bond by planting the seed, whatever that is. That can be a new job, a new relationship, a new hobby. Something new is going to start here in October, and it's up to you to nurture it. Whenever we get an ace, it's up to us. All right? It's up to us to do something with it. We don't just, get an ace and, all of a sudden all the doors change, locks, and we have to go through this. No, we are faced with an opportunity whenever we get an ace. So it's like you can take it or not, Aries, but there is something that comes through in October that could really, really boost you to another thing. Okay? It is going to be good. Whenever we get the ace, it's typically going to be a good thing. And the meaning of one in tarot is I will. So, what is it? What is it that you will do, Aries, in October? I'd love to know. All right. Now, in November 2020, you are going to get this dedicated effort 8. So, just like the planted seed, you get all the way to the 8s, and this is your strength, okay? 8s always mean strength. And sometime in November, you are going to be showing the strength of dedicated effort. You are going to be really utilizing that deeper strength, that hard work, nose to the grindstone, really pushing through some sort of work. Now that could be, in a relationship, you're really working hard. Maybe you're working on yourself, your self-portraits of who you are, your deeper meaning, that inner thread. It could be some kind of a work thing that you are really working hard on, the place where you get income. So this will be something where you're going to really show it in November. You're going to shine, you're going to show that. And your suggested thing here is to maintain the strength. And you're maintaining strength in something that's solid, a foundation of sorts, okay? And that takes dedicated effort. Whenever we put in some type of motivation and determination, that's dedicated effort. And a lot of times we're going to be rewarded for that. And it looks like that's what's happening for December. So let's move into that. Now you have another major arcana happening here for December 2020. And what this is blossom. This is amazing because 2020 and you get the judgment card, Aries. So definitely going to be feeling every change that's happened throughout the year, okay? We're going to see how much you've blossomed. That's the major feeling of December is self-reflection. How much have you transformed? How much awareness has come throughout all of your experiences? So it feels like December is going to be a huge month of transformation because it is the judgment card. That is awareness right there. That's absolutely amazing, Aries, that you got that for December 2020. as the year of the rat is actually happening in January. The year of the rat also refers to a December thing. Rat is always December, so very cool that you got Judgment, the year of the rat, all sorts of cool things happening here. So do all your research, but a lot of big things happening for 2020, and it looks like you finish it out with something big. Some sort of reincarnation, something coming back to you. That could have been from this feeling over here of, nostalgia. And these two are a lot alike in the feeling. This is just a heavier change, an actual action. Whereas you may just be feeling it here, it happens here. Okay, so really check out that time between July and December, because while you have some things happening up here that are good and kind of rough and challenging, down here there is some big, deeper changes occurring as well. I love this. Definitely look into when the eclipses are happening, the retrogrades, and I will be posting all of the free monthlies throughout the year as well. So check back here in a couple days for your January reading, and I hope you all have a fantastic start to your year. Check y'all later.